Good morning to everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Chat with Nethila, where today our special guest is a mechanical engineer and he's also the founder of 360 Labs. So, without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Chamat Kandambi to the stage. Good evening, Mr. Chamat.
Okay, good evening, Nethila.
Yeah, so I have a lot of questions planned for you because I'm very interested to learn because I've heard a lot about you. So I want to start off with your childhood, basically. So I've actually heard since I met you before I've heard that you used to do music when you were younger, when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And did you play any instruments?
Yes, actually, my main instruments was violin. So I'm interested in playing different kind of instruments as well, like guitar, drums, sitar. Like most probably, I go forward with Eastern music instruments because I have done Eastern exams up to Visharada level. So and I have played BNS live in concert as well when I was around 17, 18 years old.
Okay, so you're very ahead of me in music. I'm also a music player. I play piano, guitar, I play the recorder and a small drum that's there at home. So yeah. So it's nice to meet another music person. So another thing I want to ask about your childhood is, were you a studious child? Did you always sit in the front row or were you a backbencher in class?
So that's a good question. Actually, I can remember that when I was in grade 1, 2, I was in the front line person. I'm a kind of a front line person. So after grade 6 or 7, I was in the middle. So I'm not a kind of a backbencher as well as or a frontline person. So like most of the people think when we are in the front, we are the most like studious people, or like we are the ones who scored in the exams. So I'm not the like first, second in the classroom as well. Like I'm a kind of a middle one, like 10th, 12th a person, like kind of that. And when studying those things, like when in the classroom, I was a kind of a practical person. Like I'm like doing a kind of new things with the students as well. Like there's a subject called PDS. I can't remember the like extended version of that. It's a kind of an practical way of doing things. Like we are making a kind of robots, we are building different cars, like that. So I'm really like love that subject as well. And the second thing is the maths. Like I was good in maths since in my kids age, in from grade 6 I can remember the every exam I scored more than 80 to 90 mark, but other subjects are actually not good, like some of them lower than 50. Most of the majority is around like 70, but maths is actually higher than 80 to like it's 90, around like that.
So you are really good at maths.
Yeah,
I guess that explains why you chose engineering. Like you're very strong. You need to be very strong in maths for that.
Yeah.
So who did you want to be when you grew up? We all have our ambitions when we were younger. Who did you want to be?
So like when I was grade 6, like I choose to like go in a path in the music path. So I was so passionate about like playing in a show, playing in a stage, and I love that potential, like cheering up, and that was a nice experience when we are doing music. Like performing in a stage is a kind of another potential level. So but I never talk about being a musician. I never like think that I could become a musician. But when everyone, like even when we are studying with in the classroom, teachers most probably ask what your ambition, what's going to what will you become in future. So most probably I choose engineering. Like I never understand what is the role of becoming an engineer, or like what engineers actually do. But I love maths because actually, like when I was grade 3, my mother asked, what's your best, like what's your like most loving subject? I thought, I think that maths, because there is only there isn't any letters, there is only numbers. I should have to remember only 1 to 10 numbers. All are others are combined with it, and I'm not actually good at writing, and my handwriting is really bad. Even today also my handwriting is really bad. So that's why I actually loved maths when I was in grade 3. Like, we don't have to write different kind of things, we just have sum and multiplications. That's only we are doing in grade 3. So that's why I actually love maths. So I hope that's the reason I actually like getting more marks doing maths, like in the future as well. So for your question, I hope that like engineering is the future ambition when I was in like kids age as well.
Did you have like a role model when you were younger?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, like I have different kind of persons. Like there's a, I hope that you can remember Jihan, like from Ignite Space.
Yeah.
He's a kind of a role model for me. Like he's actually also a software engineer as well. So he's a kind of a role model to me. So that's not the kids age. Actually, like when I went to university, I actually like look at him, like how he actually did his startup, as well as this the CEO, like founder of Surge, Banu Harishchandra. He's also a person that I actually loved, like his job role.
Okay, so you had a few role models.
Yes.
So you became interested in engineering and electronics. So around what age was that? So you loved maths. So then anyway, you know that you're going to be a natural in something like engineering. What about engineering and electronics? What age did you develop that interest?
So that's a big story. So back in 2013, I hope. So 2013, the internet is not a very popular one. So there's a magazine called Vijay and Vijay Pariganaka. So that is the internet for me. Like most probably now we are actually searching on YouTube or Google. But back in those days, the internet is not a very popular one, and we are not actually familiar with the internet. So my internet is actually Vijay and Vijay Pariganaka. There's a paper called Vijay Kids or some kind of that. So there's a circuit diagrams. I don't know how I actually love those circuit diagrams. When I like looking at them, like I feel like it's wow. I don't know why I actually love them. Like I think that is a kind
of a feeling. It's a gut feeling.
Yeah, it's a feeling. Actually, I can't like tell that. So even though right now I actually like collect them every single circuit. Yeah, this is a book from since 2012. I actually collect them. So
wow.
So that is a kind of a the initial beginning. Like it's the beginning of the engineering. I hope that's the electronic stuff. So that is the first thing. So after I collecting those kind of circuits, my grandfather was who's the one who's actually like gave me the first components. Like after going through these circuits, he actually looked for a circuit and he grabbed the components and give it to me to make a circuit. So actually he's a kind of a mechanic. Like he's a mechanic means the repairing car. So he's the one who's actually like give it the like ignite to become an engineer, I hope.
So he inspired you.
Yes, he's the one who's actually like teach me, like gives me the like push to become one. So that is the second thing. So third, like that is the electronic stuff. So software, actually when I was grade 9, there's a board called Arduino. I hope you also aware about that, Nithila. The Arduino boards.
Yeah, the Arduino board. Yeah, I'm aware.
So that is a really popular microcontroller. So back in 2014, I actually like heard about that, and my father bought one to me. So from grade 9, I actually worked with the microcontrollers and coding. So no one actually guided me throughout the software process. So I actually go through with YouTube and all those blogs and stuff. and just learn. Like it's a kind of a self-learning thing. So that is how I actually like started doing those things.
So before this, you said that you were into music, right? You were a very
Yeah,
big music fan.
yeah,
Now, what did your parents think when you went from doing music and doing all these amazing instruments and then suddenly jumping into engineering and electronics? You said your
yeah,
father bought you an Arduino board, so he must have been supportive of it. What did your
yeah.
other family members think?
So actually, like they have given me a lot of support in both the subjects, even music and the engineering. So when I was playing BNS live in concert, they actually bought me a violin around 1 lakh. It's actually brought from USA as well.
Hmm.
So that is a huge thing to me. Like it's also like a violin around 1 lakh means its tone is also really good. So I am the one who's actually like chose to be in music when I was in grade end of the grade 11. That means 2016. My father and mother taught me, you are not going to be a musician. It's not good for you. So I think that you're passionate in engineering. So do maths and whatever you can go in the path. So I hope that decision is really good as well. Like I hope that music is not to me. Like I love it. It's a kind of an hobby. Engineering is actually the passionate subject because I have invented a lot of things before like grade 9, 10 as well. So parents are actually like supported to become an engineer as well. The like building my 360 labs also. They are the one who's actually supported huge support for me. Like the initial investment was like from my father as well. So that is how I actually ended up doing maths as an A-level student.
Wow. So I'm happy to know that your parents were very supportive of what, no matter what path you choose, they were supportive. So we actually have a comment over here from Amita Gamage. Great to see two young entrepreneurs working together. Very inspiring. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, when did you get into 3D printing?
3D printing. That was also an interesting question. So I hope you are aware about a channel called Discovery Science.
Discovery Sciences.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that channel.
Same.
Yeah, nice. So there's a program called Gadget Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think. So in that program, there's a like that person who's actually like printed a spoon at home, and he's like eating from it. So I was so inspired about that. Like, what is that machine? So I just Google it, how it's working, and what are the principles that going on in that machine. So I thought that I can buy it. Like I just forced my father to buy it. So that was around like 10 lakhs. So that budget is too high. So that was the time that we around like 2000. When I was in grade 10 means 2015, around 2015. So uh, I thought that like my parents cannot afford that much for just a 3D printer. So I thought that I will make this one. So after 2017, I just working on a 3D printer. That is around like 2016, 17, 18, 3 years. There was a 5 versions of 3D printers, and the 5th version is actually went so much potential. Like I went through different competitions, went through different exhibitions, and that 3D printer was the first in Sri Lanka, the most advanced 3D printer that made in Sri Lanka in that time. That was the most advanced FDM 3D printer. Even the university students also so like inspired with that 3D printer. I'm actually when I was in A levels, I actually built that one. Was like there was also wow, like how did you build this? How did you learn those things? Like they was also inspired from that as well. So it's a process. Like learn, like test and fail. Like it's
So
a kind of a
each failure you learn something new. Don't do this, don't do that.
yeah. It's a like it's around like 5 years process. Like 3D printing is not a instant stuff. It takes a lot of time to make.
Make it by yourself.
Yeah.
you got it, and you did all these things where you got an Arduino board, you got into electronic engineering, you made your own 3D printer. So did you consider yourself a software engineer or an electronic engineer?
I have a mechanical engineering degree, and I'm doing as an automation engineer as an automation department. Uh, so like uh, like father's cousins also into software business as well. So I'm actually inspired by them also, like in the software field. So from since grade 9, I'm actually like developing different kind of softwares. So there are a bunch of couple of softwares right now as well in the commercial market. As for the electronics, I hope that I'm just aware about simple kind of things in the electronics, but profession mechanical engineer is my like the real role. So and I'm really enthusiastic about the robotics, so that's why I actually done mechanical, because I can design different kind of robotic arms, like analyze those strength and different kind of stressors, like how the robotics arm are working with the mechanical principles, like the physical stuff. So software is actually a kind of the internal part with the electronics. So software can understand and like learn different kind of online platforms. I hope that that's why I actually like go in a path like in a mechanical engineering path, just not doing the software engineering stuff. So I hope that it can like learn using online platforms. That's the reason why I actually use mechanical engineering degree to do a mechanical engineering degree.
So you learn all of these things on your own, alone. So long time back, no? So you had to learn all of these alone. Now, do you have like a small school or academy or something called 360 Labs?
Yes, actually, 360 Labs started when I was in 2018. Like the 3D printer actually went to a competition called bench engine competition. So that was the competition actually makes me as an entrepreneur. I never thought to step into the business. So especially the PwC. I hope you are aware about PwC. There's a consulting firm called PwC. PwC is the firm that actually consult me to become an entrepreneur and go through with those competitions. So bench engine competition actually inspires me to become an entrepreneur. And that time the 3D printer was like marketed as, like we marketed it as Project 360, a product of Project 360. So the Project 3 like going through with the competition, we thought that the Project 360 is not the like right word, so we changed the name to 360 Labs. In that time, in the bench engine competition, we was finalist from that competition as well. So that was the first time that I thought that I could sell something. So 360 Labs was started by selling 3D printer. That is the main concept. That was the core of the business. But going through with the 3D printer, like I figured it out that it's not going to be okay. Like it's not going to be the suitable product to sell to the Sri Lankan or the international market, because there are a lot of competition in the entire world.
Yeah.
So I just hold that for a bit and started the STEM platform, because when I went to the university, I figured out that most of the friends are unaware engineering. Like they choose engineering because they want a good salary, or their parents need them become to an engineer. So that is the reason like they choose engineering as their career path. So one day in my first year in the university, there's a practical lab called like the basic electronic components we have to make in a breadboard. I hope you know a breadboard means that we can fix wires and LEDs different kind. So we put different LEDs. They are like they given us an circuit diagram, a schematic, and we should have to like fix that, like make that circuit within 1 hour. So that circuit is a really simple one. Even the students from my class as well, they can do that. But most of the 99% of the people from that
Mm.
in the first year, they are not actually aware about a circuit or a breadboard or a wire, how to fix all those things.
Mm.
So that is the first time I understand that they are not passionate about engineering. So they just do their job, like they just need to do their job. Actually engineering is, I hope, like I feel engineering is not a job, it's innovations. Like we should have to innovate new things. We are the ones who creating new technology, new
Yeah.
stuff. So engineers are actually the core of technology or the new things, rather than like doctors. Doctors are the ones who actually care about parents and medical stuff. Or rather than medical, I think engineers are the because of the engineers we are actually having all of those things
Yeah.
around us. It's because of engineers. So I hope that if we are like passionate, we can do something better than this. Like just in that 4 years, like engineering degrees around like 4 years. So that 4 years, most of them just do their learning, do their assignments, and just get away with the research. There's a research called at the final year we have a research to do. So most of the research get published. Some of them made like getting patents for a new product, but that is only for like put into their CV and they get their job, not to become an entrepreneur or like sell it. Like they are not going to sell it or like manufacture it.
They just
So
want a patent for it.
yeah, just want the pattern and like to the like completion of the degree. That is the only purpose that they need the patent. So as like why I actually do that STEM platform is like when I was a kid, I can do a lot of things like using electronic components, like using a computer, like software stuff. So if we do something from kids age, if you do something from childhood, we are actually most probably are going to be passionate about those subjects. Like
Yeah.
like we have experience.
Yeah.
So not for the 4 years, like the time period of being an engineer, like we are learning for 4 years to become an engineer. Like we can apply what we learn from the kids age to that 4 years,
So
and
that
we
4 years, yeah.
we can be a better engineer. Like we can become an innovative engineer. So that's why I actually started that STEM platform to teach kids to become an engineer, a practical engineer, like innovative engineer, not a typical like doing a job kind of an engineer.
Yeah, because when you introduce this stuff at a young age with their creativity at a very young age, it will go into their heads.
Yeah. That's the reason actually. Like they are actually a kid's brain isn't like a sponge. If you put into that water, they're actually absorbing it really
All of
quickly.
it.
Yeah, all of it actually like absorbing really quickly. So that's why actually the STEM or the things that we are learning from kids age can apply after like after 10 years from now. So if you learn engineering from grade 6 or 7, like age 11 or 12, you might apply it, you could apply it after 10 years now. Like you can apply it 22 23 years, like in your age you can apply it from 22 to 23 years old. So I hope that if a kid learns from now, their career is also going to be really good in the if they would like to go in their engineering as a career path.
So basically that's what 360 Lab is, and that's how you started. That's how you got the inspiration to start it.
Yes, that's actually the 360 Labs is right now. 360 Labs have different kind of like two major revenue stream. So one is actually the STEM education platform. Another one is the product development and digital services. So the digital services is the core of the business, but subsection as an STEM platform is started because the issue that I have faced in my in the first years of my university.
So, do you have like a hotline that people can call to enroll their kids into these 360 labs?
Yes. Yeah. So actually, most of you can search 360 Labs in Google as well.
I can display it right now here.
Yeah.
So this is the
So
hotline.
this is the hotline 077 632 5484 is the hotline number. So anyone can join. Actually, it's below 17 and 18 years old students. From actually the age group is from 11 to 17. So those students can join and like learn what is engineering, like how to passionate in engineering as well. So I hope that you are also aware about our workshops as well. Nethila, you came to a workshop, you saw that how the people actually presented their innovation ideas as well.
It was actually amazing. There are a lot of kids who came up with their own ideas, their own innovations. Some had an idea to make bus transport easier for people and how to make payment methods easier. Some came with an idea to reduce the plastic usage and make recycling easier. It was very amazing. I looked at all of them and they presented them by themselves alone with no help. It was really amazing to see at a very young age also.
Yeah, actually, like I never also like saw that kind of presentations in the universities as well. Like in my university as well, the people actually doing a kind of bunch of presentations like less than their ideas. Like it's really actually like great to see kids in the future, like those kind, they have lot of ideas. So actually why I like giving them the same exposure that I had in my entire life. So like they can pitch and they can get investments, they can make their own products. So that is the like core that I need to give them.
So once again, the hotline for your for the 360 Labs is this. You can call them. Yeah. So, Mr. Chamat, how many students have exactly enrolled in this 360 Labs and completed the course?
So around like there was around like 500 to 600 students right now. Actually, like most of them are from online. Physically, I have done different kind of courses. So the courses actually started in the COVID-19 pandemic time period. So that is around like 2020 mid. So from there, it was the first class was around like 50 to 60 students. I never thought that much students will come to the first class. So we actually market through Facebook and we directly talk with schools as well. So even like when starting that STEM platform, I didn't even have a single cent in my bank account. Like it was a really I didn't. The last reload was done to my phone to put the data to stream the entire session. So that is how it started when going to the STEM platform, because we didn't even generate a single cent up to 2018 to 2020. The 2 years was actually a zero revenue business as 360 Labs. So from there, 2020, I just learned like how to make money and how to like teach and how to like solve a problem in the real world. So that's why the people actually came to the STEM education platform, and there was around like right now there was around like 600 students completed their course. And yeah, that is how it actually going out now. Then so right now there's around like 50 to 60 group continuing their course as well.
So you're an entrepreneur and you're also promoting STEM education.
Yeah.
Yes. So how do you bridge these two together exactly?
So previously I mentioned, Nethila, like people doing a degree, like a person doing a degree, especially an engineering degree, they most probably we should have to innovate something new when we are in final year. So that is the process of like doing an engineering degree. So after that fourth year is done, we are some of they getting a patent. So that patent is only for their CV or for the job. So what I actually need is, after the kids who's coming to my class, one day they might be ending up as an engineer doing a 4-year degree, but I need them to do their final year project as a commercial market project. They should have to build something and sell it. So that is the primary purposes of my STEM course. Actually, this course is not applying right now to their life, their careers. Like, it's apply after 10 to 12 years from now. So like, it's a future investment. I hope it takes time. So I hope like some of the parents understand this scenario, and they guided their kids to the course. And most of the students actually made lot of good innovation in their course as well. So as mentioned, Nethila, you also remember the previous presentations. So like, they made something new. So they also, like, I need them to do a new thing, not right now. Actually, I am giving the exposure to like how should have to do a presentation, how to pitch, how to make a budget, how to do the basic electronic stuff, and how to make basic engineering product. So that is up to them after 12 years from now. So I need them to become an entrepreneur with engineering background. So they can become another Elon Musk to the world. They can become another Jack Ma. That is how they should have to do engineering, not as a job. It should have to be entrepreneurship. Like, if they need to change the world, if engineers should change the world, they should have to think innovatively and make a product, and they can sell it so they can make money.
So that's a very nice explanation. Thank you. I was able to, I'm sure the audience understood a lot just by that. So what are your future plans?
So when I'm planning, there's a 3 steps. One is immediate, second is intermediate, and third is long term. So my so there's a long-term plan is actually I need 3-6 labs to become a global company. So intermediate plan is actually within another 2 to 3 years, I need to extend this STEM platform and product development up to a certain level. Like, Byju's is also a kind of a STEM platform. It's a learning platform. So I need to compete Byju's. So I need to get a certain level, like more than Byju's.
Yeah.
So that is the another thing. And the second thing for the product development platform, actually, when I came into the business, my core was 3D printing, but it's not the way to go into the business. I thought that I should have to move with another product. So still I'm trying to innovating another product to catch the market. So product development is a kind of an aging one. Like, we can make a product and put it into the market, but brand name is going to be the potential of the brand name is becoming.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying. So now you've talked a lot about your engineering and how you started 360 Labs to teach kids these STEM education and how and entrepreneurship and putting entrepreneurship and engineering together and giving them all this knowledge so that it can be utilized by them in the future. Yeah. So what is your advice to parents specifically about preparing their kids for the future?
So I hope that most of the parents don't understand some of their kids thoughts. They think the parents are already right. They are the ones who actually know about everything. But I hope that some of kids have their own passionate subject. If they love arts, I hope that parents should have to allow them to do a kind of what they love. If person I can't remember the exact name. It was on the news as well. He's on Peradeniya University as a medical student, but after a couple of years, he's actually he's mentally breakdown. I don't know what happened. So the reason for that is actually their parents forced them to do medical. So sometimes he love another subject, but parents love medical. Parents want to become parents wants him to become a doctor. So that is the misunderstanding about the kids and the parents. So I hope that parents should have to understand what their kids need. They should have to open with their kids, not to force them their kids to do this. So it's up to kids, like the children have to decide what they should have to do, but not their own. Like we should have to, like parents should
Parents should
have
also support them with it.
support them, and they should have to communicate openly, like what you love to do, what you not love to do. Like should have to understand this communication is also should have to be in there. So yeah, that is, I think the parents should have the understanding of the kid is the
Understanding.
most.
So my final question to you is, what is your advice to kids?
So kids actually, like I think, learn something new. If you like it, if you think you are passionate it, test it. Then sometimes you might fail. Then you learn it, what you fail, like what are the things you like missed from what you learn. So I think testing is the most valuable thing that kids can do right now, because they have time.
Yeah.
Like if you become an adult, you don't have time.
You don't have the time. They right now they have shelter, they have food, they have loving parents who will support them. Make the most of it.
Yes. So I think learn and fail. After failing, don't, like if you fail, that most of the people are actually think that I'm not going to be a success person. So being a failure is the most success thing. We learn from that.
Yeah, we learn from our failures.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, I think our live will end from now on. I'm sure the audience learned a lot. If there are any kids watching, I hope you learned a lot. If there are parents watching, I'm sure you heard what Mr. Chamat had to say to you, and I hope you utilize this knowledge. And if there are any kids, you know the number 360 Labs, you know what they do there. And also, our next workshop for masspreneurs will be done with in coordination with 360 Labs.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll end off our live. Thank you very much for joining in, audience.
Thanks, Nathila, to inviting me for your cinnamon chat.
Thank you very much for taking your time to come here.